What's up, people? Wayne Barron here with my Ford Ranger, 83 Ranger, 95 Ford motor and transmission. And we've got our computer hookup right here. My dad had sent this over to me and we didn't think it was going to work, which is the OBD2 auto scanner. And so I found it today because we had moved back in November and I had it boxed up in the building. And so while trying to hunt for the stereo that I'm going to be putting inside my Ranger, I found this. So I hooked it up and well, we came up with some codes. So what we're going to do is that we're going to run through our codes of what we got here and then how to resolve at least one of our codes that will hopefully help to resolve the rest of our codes. I need to look at the camera instead of at the monitor. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move the camera inside and we'll hook this thing up and get going. Okay, right here is my computer hookup, and it's really hard to see there. But anyway, that's my computer hookup right here. So what we're going to do is that we're going to plug it in, and it will automatically cut on. Okay, so we're not going to get anything yet. So what I need to do is I'm going to have to cut on, most likely cut on the truck. So we need to clear erase codes. So we're going to hit enter to erase our codes. And it should give us a warning that lets us know that it can't read anything. Okay, and it just gave us an error, so let's go ahead and turn the ignition. Then let's go ahead and try it again by hitting the up arrow for yes. I just turned ignition. I didn't crank up the truck, but I turned the ignition. Okay, there we go. We got 3 codes. So we're going to go down to our first set of codes. Oh, let's go back up. Okay, now I want to go back up and I want to read the code. So click enter. Let it work again. Okay, the first one we get is a P0443, which is our EVAP emissions control system purse value fault. And our second one we got is a P1445 manufacturer control auxiliary emissions controls. And then our last one is a P0135, which is our O2 sensor heater circuit malfunction, bank 1 sensor 1. Okay, so that is the one that I was concerned about. I had told people that that was what the problem was, but everybody told me, nah, it's not, it can't be the oxygen sensor, and it is the oxygen sensor. So anyway, this right here is our code, and this is what we had to get. So I called up AutoZone, and I got, they told me which one, I had to find out what the bank 1 was, which I'd spoken with a friend of my dad's, and he told me it was the passenger side, so to make sure, I questioned the AutoZone guy, and he also told me that it was the passenger side as well. And so, but this is the new one, and it costs $43.99, $308 for tax, $47.074. This part right here. So we're going to have to crawl up underneath the truck to replace this, and so hopefully it'll all go smoothly. And so that's what we're going to do next. Is we actually going to crawl up underneath the truck and try to get up underneath there and replace this. So we will see you on the other side. Okay, we're up underneath the passenger side of the truck, and that is my oxygen sensor right there. So I've got to remove it from the exhaust manifold, and it's very rusty up underneath here. So it's going to be really hard to hold the camera and show this. I'm having to do this with my iPhone because my other camera, well, doesn't have enough wide enough iris to actually get in the enough light to make it to where y'all could actually see this. So anyway, right up top is where, it's hard to see. Anyway, right there is the ending of the plug. So that's got to be unhooked. And then that right there has to be taken off. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, we got the old one out, which is right here. And there's the other side of it, the plug. And the connected part up top that connects onto was so brittle that it broke. So luckily this is not something that is going to jiggle loose. So some black electrical tape, really tight, hopefully will hold that, or a tie strap. So anyway, that's the hole that we need to put the new one back into, which gonna be this joker right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this put in yonder, and then we'll be back. Okay, there we go. We got the new one in. Didn't take but about half a second. And by the way, it is a 7/8 wrench that works in it. You just got to get it loose just a little bit. A smaller adjustable wrench, if you got one. I had a small one, but it didn't open up quite big enough to go around it. So 7/8 wrench is the size that you need. I just happen to have one in the back of my Firebird. So anyway, that is the bottom part. So now we're going to go up and check out our codes. Okay, we're back here. So let's plug this up and turn the ignition on. It's still on. So we want to erase all of the codes. So tab down to where it shows erase codes and hit enter. Actually it found the original one, so we want to erase the codes. Try this again. Okay, comment center, 0 codes remain. Press enter to continue. And now let's go back up to read codes and press enter. Pass, no codes found. So, replacing the oxygen sensor erased all the codes. So this truck should be ready to crank up and go down and get the inspection. So yeah, replacing the oxygen sensor fixed the problem. So next time I tell people that it's the oxygen sensor, I'm going to go by my gut and by experience, because I had to go through this same thing with my mother's car back in the late 90s. And I knew what the problem was, just that nobody believed it. So yeah, if you think that you know what the problem is, tell people. Say, I've experienced the problem, I know what it is, believe me. And so anyway, it was the oxygen sensor. If I would have went by my gut a long time ago, this truck would already be insured and we'd have a better life right now. So anyway, this is Wayne Barron. Replace your oxygen sensor if your truck has a rough idle. And so also you can click here to go check out the video that I posted before. So anyway, if your truck sounds like this, it's most likely going to be your oxygen sensor on what is it, Bay 1, Sensor 1, or whatever the heck you call it. Anyway, it's the first one up underneath the truck, left hand side on the manifold, right before the converter, catalytic converter. Almost forgot what it was called. Okay, Wayne Barron with my vlog here with my 8395 Ranger. Y'all have a good one. Bye bye.